Hello, lone wolves. In a society increasingly obsessed with status symbols and conspicuous consumption, the Sigma male carves out a distinctly different path when it comes to personal finance. Where others might be seduced by the glitter of luxury goods or the pressure to conform to materialistic norms, the Sigma approaches money with quiet yet radical intent. Unlike the Alpha, who often flaunts his wealth to assert dominance, or the Beta, who spends excessively to gain social acceptance, the Sigma male views money through a much more profound and pragmatic lens. For him, financial resources are not about broadcasting success or fitting into pre-approved molds. They are tools, means to an end, that serve to preserve his freedom, secure his independence, and build lasting, authentic security. Sigma males demonstrate financial behaviors that frequently puzzle mainstream observers. Their relationship with money reflects a deeper psychological distinction. Where most use spending as a way to signal status, Sigmas use it as a strategic investment in their autonomy. Their financial decisions are not impulsive or driven by external validation, but are deliberate, reflecting a deep commitment to self-reliance, minimalism, and long-term thinking. In this exploration, we will dive into 10 characteristic spending patterns exhibited by Sigma males, each revealing the philosophical foundation that guides their financial lives. Through this dissection, it will become clear how every dollar they spend, or choose not to spend, is a direct expression of their inner values and the uncompromising pursuit of true freedom. 1. Invisible wealth. The art of hidden prosperity. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Sigma male's relationship with money is his mastery of invisible wealth. This is a paradox of understated affluence. While many scramble to broadcast their success with flashy watches, exotic cars, and designer labels, the Sigma moves through life with a deliberate air of financial anonymity. Walk past a Sigma male on the street, and chances are you would never suspect the true extent of his net worth. Society has conditioned us to equate wealth with outward displays, but the Sigma rejects this notion entirely, practicing what financial experts refer to as stealth wealth. His mindset mirrors that of historical merchant families who, aware of the dangers associated with visible riches, wisely conceal their prosperity to avoid attracting unwanted attention, obligations, or envy. Behind the Sigma's modest exterior, however, lies a sophisticated and strategically constructed financial architecture. His wealth quietly compounds across diversified assets. Index funds growing steadily in brokerage accounts, cryptocurrency holdings securely locked away in cold storage wallets, real estate properties that produce reliable cash flow, and emergency funds robust enough to cover 12 to 24 months of living expenses. Every element of his financial planning is intentional, designed not for outward validation, but for inward security and freedom. This invisible wealth accumulation serves several critical psychological purposes. First, it provides security without scrutiny, allowing the Sigma to live peacefully without the social pressures that often accompany visible affluence. Second, it frees him from performative spending, eliminating the exhausting need to keep up appearances in a world obsessed with material showmanship. Finally, it helps maintain a reduced target profile, shielding him from opportunist financial predators and the unwanted burdens that often trail behind publicly acknowledged wealth. The wisdom of the Sigma male's financial strategy is echoed in Thomas Stanley's seminal work, The Millionaire Next Door. Through extensive research, Stanley revealed that most true millionaires live far from stereotypical image society projects. They drive used cars, reside in modest middle-class neighborhoods, and actively avoid ostentatious displays of success, perfectly aligning with the Sigma male's financial philosophy. Rather than chasing recognition, the Sigma quietly builds an unshakable foundation of real wealth, ensuring that his freedom, autonomy, and long-term security remain uncompromised. 2. Buying time, the ultimate luxury investment. For the Sigma male, time is the ultimate luxury, the most precious and non-renewable resource in existence. Every financial decision he makes is deeply influenced by this principle. Unlike those who spend impulsively for fleeting pleasures or status symbols, the Sigma strategically allocates his resources to maximize his freedom. This mindset reflects what economists refer to as time arbitrage, the practice of exchanging money in order to reclaim hours of personal autonomy. For the Sigma, every dollar spent is weighed against how much life it buys back, and this is reflected in several key spending habits. He routinely invests in outsourcing mundane tasks, hiring house cleaning services, laundry pickup and delivery, or even grocery shopping assistance to eliminate the hours lost to routine chores. Premium convenience services, such as meal delivery subscriptions or the use of virtual assistants, are also embraced not out of laziness, but as a calculated move to preserve his most valuable asset, time. Furthermore, he consistently upgrades to efficiency-boosting tools, whether that's through high-performance technology that speeds up his work or opting for express shipping to minimize downtime and waiting periods. The psychological payoff for these expenditures is significant. It's not about indulging in laziness or shirking responsibility. It's a deliberate life optimization strategy. By assigning a concrete monetary value to his free time, what might be termed as hourly freedom rate, the Sigma makes rational decisions about where his energy and focus should be invested. For instance, if he values an hour as free time at $100, then paying $50 for a cleaning service that saves him 2 hours isn't a frivolous expense. It's a logical move that results in a substantial net gain in life satisfaction, productivity, and mental clarity. This approach has historical roots as well. It mirrors a philosophy of pre-industrial craftsmen who invest in higher quality tools, understanding that better equipment meant greater efficiency and more time to produce meaningful work. Today's Sigma male applies this principle not just to manual labor, but to the broader spectrum of knowledge work and lifestyle design. He recognizes that every moment bought back compounds over time, creating a future of even greater autonomy, deeper focus, and richer personal fulfillment. 3. Subscription detox, the annual financial purge. In a world where countless apps, memberships, and online services quietly siphon away hard-earned income, Sigma males take a markedly different stance. They are fiercely vigilant against what financial experts call subscription creep, the slow, almost imperceptible accumulation of small recurring charges that, over time, bleed significant wealth from even the most careful budgets. Rather than passively allowing these silent leaks to continue, Sigmas adopt a proactive, disciplined approach to financial management that centers around regular and rigorous evaluation. At the heart of their strategy is the practice of quarterly financial audits, where every automatic payment is scrutinized with clinical precision. If a subscription hasn't been actively used within the last 90 days, it is promptly canceled without hesitation. This 90-day usage rule ensures that every recurring expense must continually earn its place in Sigma's life, rather than lingering out convenience or forgetfulness. Additionally, Sigmas favor consolidation over fragmentation. They prefer to invest in a single, comprehensive tool that covers multiple needs rather than juggling numerous niche apps or services. The psychology behind this annual purge is rooted in 3 of the Sigma male's defining characteristics. First is a desire to protect autonomy. By limiting dependency on multiple vendors and subscription services, Sigmas maintain control over their financial lives and minimize external influence. Second is the anti-clutter mentality that defines both their physical and digital spaces. Reducing unnecessary subscriptions mirrors their broader drive toward minimalism and mental clarity. Finally, their future orientation pushes them to constantly redirect saved funds toward investments or assets that compound over time, rather than wasting money on ephemeral conveniences. In practical terms, this philosophy manifests through several smart behaviors. For example, rather than subscribing to multiple streaming platforms year-round, Sigmas cycle through services seasonally, only paying for 1 or 2 at a time depending on what content they actually intend to consume. They also negotiate for annual subscription rates, taking advantage of discounts to avoid the often hidden markups associated with monthly billing cycles. When possible, they build DIY alternatives for services they frequently use, further cementing their independence and reducing recurring costs. Ultimately, the Sigma male subscription detox isn't just about saving money. It's about reinforcing a life of deliberate choice, sharpened focus, and financial sovereignty. 4. Debt-free discipline, the Sigma financial fortress. For Sigma males, debt is not a tool to be managed. It is a threat to be eliminated. They view debt as financial kryptonite, fundamentally incompatible with their deeply rooted values of autonomy and self-reliance. Embracing what personal finance scholars often refer to as the anti-fragile money approach, Sigmas prioritize building a financial foundation that grows stronger under pressure, not weaker. Their behaviors around money are marked by an intense discipline. They annihilate credit card balances before interest can ever accrue, ensuring that no cycle ends with unpaid debt. They also place a high priority on maintaining robust emergency funds, ready pools of liquid assets designed to eliminate the need for borrowing, even in the face of unexpected setbacks. Moreover, they master the art of delayed gratification, choosing to save diligently for major purchases rather than financing them through loans or payment plans. The psychological roots of this philosophy run deep. At the core is the Sigma's hyper-agency worldview, the unshakable belief that total personal responsibility is both possible and necessary. They recognize the double-edged nature of leverage. While borrowing can amplify gains, it equally magnifies risk, and for Sigmas, preserving freedom outweighs the lure of rapid advancement. Their cautious approach is further fueled by a profound sense of empathy for their future selves. Every disciplined decision made today is seen as an investment in the security, peace, and strength of the person they will become. Historical precedent only reinforces this mindset. An examination of the 2008 financial crisis revealed that individuals who lived debt-free or maintained low liabilities suffered far less stress and financial fallout compared to their heavily leveraged counterparts. Sigma males, ever the long-term strategists, internalize these lessons deeply. They deliberately structure their financial lives to be recession-resistant, knowing that true wealth isn't measured merely by assets, but by resilience, the ability to weather any storm without losing ground. For the Sigma, debt-free living isn't about deprivation. It's about building an unbreakable financial fortress, one choice at a time. 5. The quality imperative. Buy once, cry once. When it comes to spending money, Sigma males operate with a highly refined sense of value that transcends impulsive consumerism. They adopt what could be called the buy once, cry once philosophy, a recognition that investing in quality from the outset minimizes future regret, replacement costs, and frustration. Every major purchase is evaluated through a sophisticated internal decision matrix that weighs multiple factors. First, they consider the cost per use, dividing the total price of an item by the estimated number of times it will be used, thereby reframing an expensive item as economical over time if it endures. Next, they account for opportunity cost, critically assessing what alternative investments could have been made with the same funds. Finally, they contemplate the failure consequences, the potential fallout if a product underperforms at a crucial moment, something a Sigma views as an unacceptable risk. This meticulous framework shapes their real-world behavior. Sigmas often engage in research-intensive purchasing, spending weeks or even months comparing options, reading reviews, and scrutinizing specifications before committing to a decision. Once they identify brands or manufacturers that consistently deliver on promises of durability and functionality, they tend to develop deep brand loyalty, returning repeatedly to trusted sources rather than chasing trends. Furthermore, Sigmas are not shy about investing in maintenance, whether it's taking a beloved vehicle in for regular servicing, reconditioning leather boots, or updating high-end tech with care to dramatically extend the lifespan and performance of their purchases. This approach closely mirrors the traditional Scandinavian principle of DYRT-COP, which loosely translates to expensive buying, an ethos that emphasizes buying fewer, higher-quality items with the intent that they will serve reliably for years, if not decades. In stark contrast to the disposable consumer culture that dominates much of the modern world, Sigma males see every purchase as a long-term strategic decision. They would rather endure the initial sting of a higher upfront cost and face the ongoing irritation and hidden expenses of inferior goods. In the Sigma's world, true thrift is not about buying cheaply. It's about buying wisely. 6. Delayed gratification tests. The 30-day rule. For Sigma males, financial discipline isn't just about budgeting. It's about mastering their impulses at a deep psychological level. One of their most powerful tools in this regard is what could be called the 30-day rule, a personal system designed to filter out emotional, non-essential purchases. Before making any discretionary spending decision, Sigmas implement what behavioral economists refer to as commitment devices, pre-planned mechanisms that curb impulsivity and force rational reflection. Their approach typically involves a mandatory cooling-off period, where they defer the purchase for anywhere from 3 days to a full month, depending on the size and significance of the expense. This simple act of waiting introduces friction between desire and action, allowing initial excitement to fade and giving the logical mind time to reassert control. Additionally, Sigma males often engage in alternative trials, seeking to rent, borrow, or sample a product or service before committing to full ownership. This not only tests whether the desired item truly integrates into their lives, but also satisfies curiosity without permanent financial entanglement. In some cases, Sigmas will turn to proxy experiences such as exhaustive research, reviews, or even simulated use, effectively scratching the itch of novelty without parting with their resources. On a neurological level, this practice provides major benefits. Repeatedly exercising patients strengthens the prefrontal cortex, the brain's executive function, center responsible for self-control and long-term planning. At the same time, it reduces dopamine-chasing behaviors, steering Sigma males away from the addictive shopping loops that plague so many consumers. Each delayed purchase becomes a natural barrier against emotional spending, leading to higher satisfaction when decisions are finally made, or a painless realization that the desire was fleeting and unworthy of investment. This strategy echoes a historical wisdom as well. The ancient Stoic philosophers practiced premeditatio malorum, the negative visualization of potential outcomes, including the regret that might follow impulsive indulgence. In the modern context, Sigma males mentally rehearse buyer's remorse before it happens, allowing them to preemptively avoid purchases that would later feel hollow or regrettable. In doing so, they don't just save money, they cultivate a deeper, more resilient mastery over their own desires. 7. One-bag travel. Mobility as freedom. For the Sigma male, travel isn't just about reaching new destinations. It's an extension of the philosophy of autonomy, efficiency, and self-reliance. Nowhere is this more evident than in his embrace of one-bag travel, a minimalist yet highly strategic approach to mobility. Sigma males have refined the art of movement, drawing inspiration from what digital nomads and modern minimalists refer to as the essentialist travel philosophy. Rather than hauling around cumbersome luggage loaded with just-in-case items, Sigmas invest in a capsule wardrobe, carefully curated pieces of high performance, clothing designed to mix, match, and adapt to a wide variety of conditions. Every item in their bag is intentional and versatile, chosen for its ability to serve multiple functions. Whether it's a jacket that converts into a pillow, shoes suitable for both city streets and hiking trails, or tech gadgets that consolidate several tools into one, Sigma males optimize for maximum utility with minimal bulk. Strict adherence to a weight budget is a hallmark of their method, rarely exceeding 7 kilograms, about 15 pounds, comfortably fitting into a carry-on backpack. This lightweight discipline offers profound psychological payoffs. First, it reduces decision fatigue. With a limited set of clothing and gear choices, there's less mental energy wasted on trivial daily decisions. Second, it minimizes stress. Without the burden of checked luggage, Sigmas avoid common travel anxieties like lost bags, delayed retrievals, or extra fees. Most importantly, their compact setup enables spontaneity, the ability to change plans on a whim, hop on a last-minute flight, or reroute their journey without being anchored by heavy possessions. Interestingly, this modern strategy echoes ancestral patterns of human mobility. Throughout prehistory, hunter-gatherer societies depended on the principle of traveling light for survival. Mobility meant access to resources, adaptability to changing environments, and freedom from environmental constraints. The Sigma male, by embracing this updated nomadic spirit, reclaims that primal sense of liberation, carrying only what is essential, mastering his environment rather than being mastered by it. 8. Health as capital, the ultimate investment. To the Sigma male, health is not simply about aesthetics or fitness trends. It's an essential form of capital, as critical to his freedom and future as any financial asset. He approaches his physical well-being through what could best be described as a health economics model, applying a methodical, almost actuarial mindset to every decision. The Sigma considers the present value of health, understanding that his future potential, whether it's earning power, adventure, or meaningful experiences, depends directly on the maintenance of his body and mind today. He also calculates the opportunity cost of illness, recognizing that poor health isn't just about hospital bills or missed work. It's about the priceless loss of moments, opportunities, and self-sovereignty. Most importantly, he sees the compounding benefits of daily micro-investments in wellness, knowing that small, consistent habits multiply over time to produce massive, often unseen, advantages later in life. This philosophy materializes in several practical ways. Sigma males prioritize preventive care, treating regular checkups, screenings, and early interventions not as optional, but as essential components of life insurance for their personal autonomy. Their approach to food is similarly rational, with nutritional ROI analysis guiding their choices, favoring foods that deliver long-term energy, cognitive support, and disease prevention over short-term pleasure. In fitness, they focus on efficiency, selecting exercise routines that maximize strength, endurance, and resilience with minimal wasted time, often blending functional strength training, mobility work, and cardiovascular conditioning into tightly optimized routines. This forward-thinking approach mirrors findings from studies on blue zones, the rare regions of the world where people regularly live past 100 in excellent health. In these places, health practices are woven naturally into daily life, viewed not as indulgences, but as wise, necessary investments in extended vitality. The Sigma male internalizes this wisdom, treating his health not as a vanity project, but as the very foundation of his independence, resilience, and capacity to fully experience life across the decades. 9. Hobbies as identity capital. For Sigma males, hobbies aren't just casual pastimes. They are a deliberate and strategic investment in what sociologists call identity capital. Rather than dabbling superficially in various activities, Sigmas pursue their interests through the lens of a serious leisure framework. This concept emphasizes a long-term commitment to skill development, personal growth, and community participation within chosen pursuits. Their approach to hobbies reflects clear patterns: tiered skill development, where they progressively invest in better equipment and resources as their abilities grow; community access, often paying for entry into specialized mastermind groups, mentorship circles, or intensive workshops to deepen their expertise; and documentation tools like journals, tracking apps, or video recordings, which allow them to meticulously capture and analyze their progress over time. This serious approach to leisure pays profound psychological dividends. It enables Sigmas to regularly enter flow states, those immersive periods where time seems to disappear and peak creativity and performance emerge. It also fosters identity diversification, ensuring that their sense of self is not narrowly defined by professional achievement alone, but is enriched through multiple channels of competence and fulfillment. Additionally, their dedication to mentally stimulating hobbies builds what neurologists refer to as cognitive reserve, a buffer that can protect against age-related cognitive decline and diseases like Alzheimer's. The Sigma's relationship with hobbies echoes the spirit of the great Renaissance men like Leonardo da Vinci, who cultivated mastery across a wide range of disciplines simultaneously. By treating hobbies not as distractions but as serious avenues for growth, Sigma males create a rich, layered identity that is resilient, dynamic, and deeply satisfying. Their passion projects serve as ongoing sources of personal evolution, reinforcing their core drive for autonomy, competence, and lifelong learning. 10. Strategic generosity, the art of meaningful gifting. Sigma males approach the concept of giving with a unique perspective that combines thoughtfulness with efficiency, known as targeted reciprocity. This concept, studied by anthropologists, is a form of gift-giving where the exchange is not transactional, but intentionally designed to strengthen connections and enhance relationships without imposing any sense of obligation. When a Sigma decides to give a gift, it is always preceded by need assessment, where they observe and understand the unstated desires or silent wishes of the recipient. This level of attention ensures that the gift will be genuinely appreciated and used, not just a superficial gesture. Sigmas adhere to a quality threshold, ensuring that the items they gift are not only practical but also of value, providing long-lasting utility. Perhaps most importantly, their gifting philosophy is rooted in a no-strings-attached mentality. There are no expectations tied to their generosity, creating a pure form of giving without any underlying motive for reciprocity. Psychologically, this approach stems from several core Sigma traits. Attachment security allows them to feel comfortable with relationships that may not be constant or heavily dependent on regular exchanges. They are at ease with intermittent connection, understanding that relationships can ebb and flow without requiring constant attention. Sigmas also possess a high level of empathic accuracy, meaning they can read the subtle emotional cues of others and accurately perceive their true preferences, making them exceptional at choosing gifts that resonate deeply with the recipient. Above all, Sigmas reject the anti-transactional mindset, viewing gifts not as a form of currency to gain favor or leverage, but as sincere expressions of care and thoughtfulness. This view aligns with the traditional Japanese practice of homage, where gifts are given not based on their monetary value, but their symbolic meaning, serving to express respect, consideration, and a deeper emotional bond rather than fulfilling an obligation. In essence, Sigma males embody a form of generosity that elevates gifting from a social obligation to a meaningful, intentional act. Their gifts serve to nurture bonds without the pressure of expectation, creating a lasting impact that is felt far beyond the material exchange. Conclusion: the Sigma financial advantage. The financial behaviors of the Sigma male, when viewed as a collective strategy, exemplify what economists call a non-convex optimization strategy. This term may sound technical, but it essentially refers to an approach that, on the surface, might seem less efficient or unconventional in specific areas. However, when applied across the full spectrum of life, it delivers remarkable, unbeatable advantages. Unlike the typical financial strategies that focus on maximizing immediate gains or fulfilling short-term desires, the Sigma male's approach is built around the long-term accumulation of true wealth. By avoiding status competitions, Sigmas free themselves from the societal pressures that come with keeping up appearances, allowing them to focus on accumulating real assets and building meaningful security rather than chasing fleeting symbols of success. Additionally, they prioritize time wealth, seeing time as a valuable and irreplaceable resource. This emphasis allows them to strategically invest in opportunities that provide freedom rather than being tethered to jobs or obligations solely for monetary gain. Their radical flexibility, the ability to adapt and pivot without being locked into rigid systems or dependencies, further reinforces their capacity for financial independence. Through these principles, Sigmas achieve what many people in modern society struggle to grasp: true financial sovereignty. In a world defined by rampant consumerism, where societal pressures push individuals into a cycle of endless purchasing and status-driven spending, the Sigma male offers a refreshing blueprint for breaking free from the golden handcuffs of performative spending. This blueprint is not about abandoning all desires or comforts, but about reshaping the financial narrative to one of autonomy, self-discipline, and long-term fulfillment. The real question, however, is how many will have the discipline to embrace this alternative path to financial success and personal freedom. The Sigma way requires a commitment to principles over immediate gratification, a path that, while challenging, holds the potential to achieve a truly liberated life. Do you resonate with the ideas I shared in this video? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you're interested in more content about Sigma males, explore the other videos on this channel. Thanks for watching.